And three-time Academy Award winner, Oliver Stone. To the center. I would also like to say hello to the producers that are here tonight. Philip Schultz, Dale, Eric Kopolov, and Moritz Bormann. I hope I pronounced that right. Yes, welcome to Zurich. And thank you so much for gracing our festival. Oliver, you have, I think this is your, oh, another. No, they're not. They're gonna stay there, right? From what I hear. Which one? You can come to the stage if you want, but more music. No, that's enough. Oliver, this is your fourth time, if I'm not mistaken, at the Zurich Film Festival, or at least let's just say you've been here several times. So thank you very much for coming back and bringing us this fantastic movie that our audience will get to witness tonight. You've made a lot of movies, and I know movie making is always challenging, but this has been particularly challenging, wasn't it?
Max, this has been a nightmare.
This is my brand that I'm an ambassador of, Camp David, you know. Thank you so much, I'll pay you later.
Thank you for the hotel room, man. So, look, this was a tough film, but I'm very proud to present it tonight. It's 2.5 years in the making, and it's based on a lot of original research. We read every journalistic story written on Mr. Snowden. As you know, it's a very conflicted public record. We bought two books, and one of them was a Guardian book, which was had many incorrect things said and had to be revised in a new edition. So in other words, this research was developing as we were doing it. The NSA is a very, very secretive organization. There's only been 3 people who've really openly spoken about it. Tom Drake, earlier than that was Bill Binney, and the last and the most conclusive was Edward Snowden in 2013. So this is a very fresh story about a very secret organization. And we went to Moscow, my co-writer and I, many times, 9 times for me, and Mr. Snowden slowly unthawed and cooperated and told us much that we would never have been able to tell without his input and his description and very specific dialogue.
And Oliver, I heard that the process of making this film was quite secretive too, no? You were exchanging information quite secretly. How did that go?
Yes, our producers, they know the story. We went to Germany because we did not feel comfortable shooting this in 2000. It was very tough for Snowden in the United States. It still is, very much so. He's asking for a pardon, but we have hopes for that. But we were encrypted as much as possible and we were offline. Scripts were very coveted and we kept them out of the public eye. You can imagine if the script had been hacked. Here's the world's leading hacker and he gets hacked, it would have been a big bounty. So we were worried from the beginning and we felt more comfortable in Germany.
Shailene, how were you approached by the great Oliver Stone? Was that a secret moment as well? Or is that more straightforward than that?
I wrote Oliver a letter that said, thank you for making this film. I found out that he was making a movie about Edward Snowden, a man who had greatly influenced my life in 2013 when he decided to disclose his information to the journalist who revealed it to all of us. So I wrote a letter just thanking him because I do think that the information, not only in this film, but the information that hopefully you guys will go research after watching this film is important for all of us moving forward. And anyway, at the end of the letter, I also said, may I please audition for you?
And did you have to audition? Or was that just a, yes, you got the role?
Oliver, we had what, 1 or 2 meetings and we met and then I got to meet Joe. And
she was the right choice.
Yeah, and she's a marvelous young actress. I don't know if you've seen here in Switzerland, if you've seen, how do you say it in German? The Fault of Our Stars?
Well, I don't know how it's called in German, actually. No?
But it's she's very moving. And also in The Descendants with George Clooney when she was 18. Really amazing actress.
Shailene, so the topic is all about privacy, you know, and sharing private data and whatnot. You're obviously in the limelight as a young actress known all around the world. How do you deal with privacy yourself and private data?
Well, privacy is something that's not limited to just those of us who are maybe in the public eye. You know, a lot of times when we have conversations about privacy, people bring up social media, and people bring up our lives with being recorded with all the phones in the audience right now. But these are active choices. We're consciously choosing to place ourselves in a situation where we know what we say will be public, and we know what we post online will be public. So privacy is something that extends far beyond moments like right now. It extends into the lives of all of us today when we're at home, when our phones aren't on and we're not posting on Instagram or Twitter. And you know, we're living in a world where privacy isn't necessarily a human right anymore. It's a privilege, and it's only really a privilege if you understand that it's a privilege. So it's something that I'm still learning a lot about. I don't have a lot of answers on how we can move forward with technology today and feel more private, but I am greatly committed to becoming more aware and to learning more about it.
Joseph, how about you? Are you a very private person, or is your life all on social media and whatnot?
Yeah, I just posted about the cappuccino that I had just 5 minutes ago. You know, for me, I really value my alone time. Being alone with myself is where I can, you know, think about the world, think about myself, try on ideas, experiment, and I think that it's difficult to do that kind of experimentation where we find ourselves if you know that you're being watched, if you know that that journal entry is going to be read. I think it's just a different experience of life. So for me, it's important to kind of have a boundary. And yeah, I am an actor, and I share certain parts of my life with you know, everybody, but then there's a line, and then this part I keep to myself or to my family, and you know, for me that boundary is part of how I stay sane. But I also respect if, you know, there are lots of people who do like to, you know, post photos on Instagram of the cappuccino they had 5 minutes, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that if that's your mode of expression. I just think it's valuable to have the choice of how much you want to share.
You told me earlier on that you were not as familiar with Edward Snowden's story prior to knowing that you're going to play that role. Tell us a little bit about how you prepped for that role, and did you feel any more pressure playing a prominent figure?
Oh, sure. Yeah, well, when Oliver first offered me this job, first of all, I was just very excited because I'm such a fan of his movies. But the next thought I had, honestly, was Edward Snowden. Wait, I know I've heard that name before, but which one's he again? And what exactly did he do? And I realized I didn't know. You know, you hear so many different things in the news, and I had not taken the time to really look into this story in depth. When I did look into it in depth, once Oliver brought it to my attention, I found a story that was personally fascinating because I was raised by a father who always emphasized technology. He always made sure we had a computer in the house and that my brother and I knew how to use it, and we were taught to embrace, you know, this incredible new technology that's really brand new. Having computers, and then even more recently having these computers connected to each other through the internet. And I tend to think that all of this information, our access to culture and history and science and each other, is really a positive thing. And I never took a second to think, well, are there any downsides to this new incredible technology? I honestly never even thought about it, but the truth is, every technology, especially if it's really powerful, it can be used for good, it can be used to the benefit of everybody, or it can be used for what I would consider more bad, only for the benefit of a few powerful people. And this technology is so new, it's really kind of up to us which path it's going to go down. And to me, Edward Snowden starting this conversation was really crucial, and I'm grateful that he did, and I'm honored to be here helping to tell the story.
Oliver, one final question. What hopes do you have with this film in terms of maybe how this might influence what happens to Edward Snowden next?
I long ago abandoned that idea that the film really can do. I mean, you make the film, you do your best. It's up to the audience and the energy in the atmosphere. You can't think about that. Expect any.
Just enjoy, I guess. Thank you so much, Oliver Stone, Joseph Levitt, and Sherman Woodward.